Hello, students. Have you ever looked at a tiny ant and then at a giant elephant and wondered how can both be alive yet so different in size? The answer lies in the number of cells. A cell is the fundamental unit of life, both in structure and function. Now, the number of cells in an organism depends on how big and how complex it is. The bigger an organism, the more cells it has. Think about it, a huge mango tree is built of countless more cells than a small moss plant. Even in your own body, trillions of cells work together in harmony, while an organism like amoeba manages everything, movement, feeding, and reproduction, with just one single cell. So remember, the size and complexity of an organism are directly linked to the number of cells it contains. Let's look deeper into how organisms differ based on their cell numbers. Single-celled organisms, like bacteria, yeast, or amoeba, rely on just one cell to carry out all life functions. This single cell is like an all-in-one laboratory, factory, and control room. Some organisms are few-celled, they may have only a few hundred or a few thousand cells. For example, Spirogyra, the green filamentous algae, floats in ponds with relatively few cells. Then come the multi-celled organisms like humans, frogs, or mango trees. They are made up of millions and billions of cells, each specialized for particular functions. And here's something you can try. If you place a drop of pond water under the microscope, you might see a single-celled amoeba alongside colonies of multi-celled algae living side by side in the same drop. Isn't that fascinating? Now, the real question, how many cells are inside you? An average adult human is estimated to have around 37.2 trillion cells. Your brain alone has about 100 billion neurons, that's 1, followed by 11 zeros, cells that constantly transmit electrical signals, allowing you to think, remember, and feel emotions. And your blood? It's a universe of its own. Just 1 cubic millimeter of blood contains 4 to 6 million red blood cells and about 7,000 white blood cells. Real-life example, when you get a small cut, millions of white blood cells rush to fight infection, while platelets immediately begin clotting the wound. This invisible army of cells is always at work, keeping you alive and healthy every moment. Cells also amaze us with their size variations. The smallest cells are bacteria, some only 0.3 micrometers to 5.0 micrometers in size. Human red blood cells measure about 7 micrometers in diameter. Now, imagine the opposite extreme. The longest cells are our nerve cells or neurons. In tall individuals, a single neuron can stretch all the way from the spinal cord down to the toes, over 1 meter long. And the largest cell? The ostrich egg. Yes, the breakfast egg you eat is actually a giant cell packed with yolk and albumin to support the developing embryo. As you see in this comparison, cells range from microscopic bacteria to disc-shaped red blood cells to meter-long neurons, all the way to a massive ostrich egg. Truly, diversity exists even at the cellular level. Now here's an interesting question. Why don't our bodies just have fewer but very large cells? The answer lies in efficiency. Smaller cells allow faster communication and exchange of materials. For example, muscle contraction depends on rapid ion movement, which is possible only when cells are small. There's also the concept of surface area to volume ratio. Let me spell that out: surface area divided by volume. Small cells have a larger surface area compared to their volume. This means they can absorb oxygen and nutrients quickly and expel wastes more efficiently. Think about your lungs. They are filled with millions of tiny alveoli, not one big hollow sac. Why? Because millions of small sacs offer a much greater surface area for oxygen exchange. Biological process. Diffusion works far more effectively in small cells than in large ones. And over evolution, organisms that had smaller, more efficient cells survived and thrived. Another amazing fact: cells are not permanent, they are continuously dividing and replacing themselves. For example, your skin cells are replaced almost daily as old cells die and new ones take their place. Your blood cells are constantly being produced in the bone marrow to replace old, worn-out ones. When you get a wound, the healing you observe is a result of rapid cell division, forming fresh tissue to close the gap. This endless cycle of birth, function, death, and replacement of cells ensures that tissues and organs never stop working. In fact, life itself is a never-ending chain of cellular renewal. So, let's quickly recap the wonders of cellular numbers. The size of an organism directly determines the number of cells it has, from the single-celled amoeba to the trillions of cells in humans and trees. We saw how organisms can be single-celled, few-celled, or multi-celled, and how complexity increases with more cells. We explored fascinating extremes, from the tiniest bacteria to the meter-long nerve cells to the giant ostrich egg. We discovered why cells remain small, efficiency in communication, and a larger surface area to volume ratio. Finally, we understood that cells are constantly dividing and replacing themselves, an endless cycle that keeps us alive. Isn't it amazing? Every breath you take, every thought you think, every movement you make is powered by trillions of cells working together in harmony. Biology truly is the science of life. Until our next adventure, keep observing the wonders of the living world all around you.